why solely focusing on revenue could be destroying your brand. Even though most people think I need to show off how much money I'm making, how many deals I'm closing, but why could it be destroying your brand without you even noticing it? What do you guys think about that?
I think revenue is important in any business, and I think the way it's presented to the public, you need to consider it. I have some stories on revenue, but I'll let the guest here kind of speak as well on it. What are your thoughts on it?
Who's the guest? Am I the guest?
You're the guest.
Who am I here now?
Nathan, everybody's faces is new to me, okay? So I don't want to be stepping nobody's toes.
Okay.
No, I was telling previously Flor, one of the agents here at Lion Gates Realty, en español es enfócate en relaciones más que en las comisiones. So focus on relationships more than the commission, and the commission will fall into place automatically. So I think that's a lot of the people get into this business. You know, we're not in the commission business, we're in the relationship business. So build a relationship, and that's what's gonna get you. This is gonna get you to all the levels in this industry. Would you agree, Nate?
Yeah, definitely.
I think to build on what you're saying, I do like to take a customer centric approach where I'm delivering more value, than volume, and so much so we had been shooting videos, here for a long time. I think we first started in 2014, 2015 with a GoPro and a stabilizer, and I was like figuring out how to become a whole video editor because there was nobody doing any type of videos. And this was my, it was my Achilles heel. It was my down. It was why I'm good, and it's also kind of what my downfall is in the business. I was doing videos, and we'd post the content, and we'd get a bunch of leads in, a lot of them. I'd get maybe 10, 15 leads, that were wanting to look at the home or that were wanting to do whatever I was recording about. For me, I was so focused on customer service and delivering a great value for the customer and giving a good customer, experience that I wouldn't post more videos because I had more clients than I could handle, right? Which is very different than what I saw these like younger agents do during COVID, where they just kept posting and posting, and they were running this like churn and burn style. If the client wasn't approved and where to go today, they wouldn't care. Versus me, I've always built the business. I've always put them on a credit repair program. I've always built them up to be good, to be a sell in the future. And I never gave up. And that's what my whole approach is. It's customer focused, right? Customer relations and pushing that value, not telling anyone no. It was my flex. Anybody can buy a house within 2 years. I don't care if you just had a foreclosure. I don't care if you just had a short sale. Within 2 years, we can help you rebuild your credit. We can help you, get on track, and you can, buy a home. Right.
So you build a long-term relationship, rather than just chasing the one transaction, the commission from that transaction. So by doing exactly what you're doing, that one client can translate into 10 transactions in the term of, because by doing that, by default, you're going to have the relatives now who want to get that. And then their kids. Well, not for y'all millennials, right? But for us, like Gen X, right? Like with their kids now, I'm financing houses for their kids, and I got clients for 10 years deep, and now a lot of those parents are building a tortilleria. Well, that's another transaction on the commercial side, right?
Yeah.
And then they refer me to the pastor of the church. They want to expand the church. So absolutely, the relationship goes farther than just chasing the commission, the one transaction. In this industry, anyhow.
Yeah. So Gen Zers are buying houses. That's and they're buying them young too. So I'm glad we're finding. Millennials are buying houses old, right? So right now we're catching the old millennials buying homes, and we're catching the young Gen Z buying homes. So it's actually a great time to be a realtor and to sell homes.
I don't ever defend the millennials at all. I do. I always, kind of rain on them. But, Gen Zs have had it very easy with a great market and great times. And they've been all part of the up times. Millennials, came out of school in the financial crisis and had a lot of issues. And then with the pandemic and with the tough job market, I don't know when everyone got into comparing generations. I feel like, the boomers did it really bad to the millennials, and now Gen X's are doing it to the Gen Zs. It's like the funniest thing. I was reading a study about that, how I guess Gen X's had Gen Zs, boomers had millennials, and that's how they're measuring each other up, and I think it's funny.
Yeah, I think millennials were the worst. Was a worse generation in my time, or from whenever. I mean, just in general, right? Everybody disagrees, right? But all the generations that are alive today can all say the same, that they don't like the millennials, and that the millennials have ruined a lot of the sales industry.
Man, you went aggressive there, Nate.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
but the thing is, the thing is that that's one of the reasons why I really don't like hiring people that are in the sales industry, because a lot of people that come from the sales industry, they come from they come from selling one product, right? And it's essentially, hey, you come in and hey, I got this. You want to buy it? You don't want to buy it? All right, get the hell out of my store, right? And so this business here, like Vic was saying, right? It's totally different. Farming. Everybody can buy. I mean, you literally. I mean, everybody goes in your pipeline, and you follow up and you help them. And there's a lot of people out here that can help. Just like Vic said, with the credit repair, there's just a lot of ways to get people into homes. I mean, even owner finance.
So how do you feel about, like, whether we like it or not, the millennials are here in this next generation and they're here to stay? How do you feel about how we're going to cater, me in the lending, for example, and you in real estate, to that generation? Because let's face it, biologically speaking, we're going to die before they do.
Yeah.
So have you foreseen that? I kind of like to think about the future. Like, what's been talking about a lot? Tiny homes. Millennials want everything practical. They don't want the big house with the big yard.
Yeah.
And tiny homes has been a subject on millennials a lot lately. I just want something simple.
But you see, it hasn't been lately. I mean, they've been talking about tiny homes for years, and it's never panned out. I mean, name me a successful tiny home community here. There's none.
Not a single one yet.
Yeah. I think that goes back to like affordability, right? They're looking for affordability in the home market, and these big homes aren't affordable. Like the boomers, and this is I just made fun of Nate the other day that I was like, no one's gonna remember the Gen X generation. Like you guys are just like in the middle. Like good or bad, y'all didn't do anything. Y'all just played. Y'all just lived. Y'all didn't do good or bad. Y'all just in the middle.
I think that's what the millennials did.
Can you say something about that? Like,
that's not true.
Bro, you can't get through a podcast without talking about them. They're the subject of every conversation.
You have three Gen Xers right here.
No one will remember your name.
Yeah. You have three Gen Xers right here, and anytime you talk to a person that's a Gen X, usually they've done time, right? And then secondly, they've changed their ways, and they usually have to start their own companies. I don't know. I think Jovani's holding his breath over here, bro. Look, Jovani's holding his breath.
He wants to say
Jovani's holding his breath.
To jump it in,
He's
bro.
holding his breath, dude.
Say it, John.
Come on, bro. Say it with your chest out.
I think there's crappy people in every generation. So there's crappy millennials, crappy Gen X.
He's
He's gonna go the PR zone. He's gonna go PR.
Politically correct.
Hey, he hung out with Desiree all day today, so he's gonna go the PR.
I just like my people, so it don't matter. And that's the people that are here to work and build relationships.
Back to the business part of it. One of the books that I was recommended by a Gen X guy was
Shocker.
Was Raving Fans. Yeah, no, all you guys do is read and recommend.
Wait, hold on. Is Dave a millennial?
I think he's 2 years younger than you.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like last time y'all talked, y'all established
we
that.
figured that out.
Yeah.
He looks so much older than me.
Yeah. Yeah. He does.
He does.
Yeah. Wow. No, he recommended this book called Raving Fans a long time ago when we used to work with him, and I used to. And Raving Fans was a really good book about building your business and creating a brand that's memorable, right? It's a great customer service experience throughout, and going above and beyond for your customers to make sure that they do kind of a great job. So I think things that have shaped me in my life have been recommendations and experiences, right? If I get a bad experience, then I won't go back just because I don't want to deal with it. I'm not going to go back and deal with bad customer service. But the people that I've always helped and taken the time to talk and kind of talk through a situation, I've earned my business time and time again. I'll drive an extra couple miles. I'll spend a couple extra dollars. I'll happily, tip or whatever I need to do, right? To make sure that I'm contributing in that factor. So that's a book that we recommend here at our company, which is, Raving Fans. And we hope to build a great customer service experience through our sales process, right? So not really denying you, giving you a game plan and working towards that. And I think if you're able to accomplish that, then you're able to do the things that you need to do as far as, brand reputation, who you are as a person and, what you guys do there.
Yeah, and within the business itself, right? Because we're talking on the transaction side, meaning B2C, right? Business to customer, right? Let's talk more about B2B, right? Business to business. So within the business, well, what does that relationship versus transaction look like whenever you're working with either with a lender or you're working with any vendors in general? Like, how does that next step come forward besides just working on a deal versus building a relationship? And sometimes too much of the relationship gets built and not enough of the making money gets done, right? At least that's a big issue that I see within our business. What can you guys speak on that?
I got two things on that. One, keep a level-headed, leave the emotions out of the way, and two, results. Because B2B, at the end of the day, whatever transaction it is, right? In our case, lender, realtor, realtor, lender, can you deliver the results? And a lot of times, egos get on the way, emotions get on the way. Needless to say, buyers and sellers get irritated, and they translate it to the agent, and then the agent to the lender, or vice versa. You gotta keep those two things level-headed, and then understand that it's results-driven transaction. I think we gotta keep it. When it comes to B2B, and of course, I mean, this has to be a trust, and it's only built on the results. Will you agree? I mean, you can like the guy or the girl very much, but if they don't deliver, it's a business. I mean, B2B, unlike a business to client transaction, you got to have more of the personal touch. Mm-hmm. But B2B, I think it's different. Would you?
So the thing is that I've seen the way business to business has changed. From in the I'm gonna say in the decades and I've been in business, right? We used to have somebody who a marketing person, right, that would come and they would come and visit us, and it was always an attractive person, right, male or female, and they would come and try to get business from the company, and once they established that relationship, they introduced you to the closer, right, or the killer, or the guy that was actually doing the work in the background, right, and that's just the way it's always been. I've seen it change from that to the marketing person gets out there, right, because the real closer, right, or the real person that's doing all the business, that person is sitting in an office, that person is in front of a computer, that person is having dinner with investors and trying to get things together. He's not out there making these relationships, right? So what I've seen is that the person that they hire to do that has become so popular now, right? And then 10x with social media. I've seen that person with no real experience, with no real, the person didn't do the hard work, the grunt work, didn't get in there, didn't learn, the business. I see that person use their, for lack of better words, their celebrity, right? To start their own business, in that same field, and
they don't deliver.
They don't deliver. Yeah, I mean, it's just
you nailed it.
Yeah, and man. it's just so tough, and honestly, it's gotten so bad that the people that are getting the bad business don't even know they're getting the bad business because they have nothing to compare it to, because there's just so many people out here talking a big game, acting like they know everything about an industry when they really don't. They're just really good at social media marketing.
Yep. Yeah, but unfortunately, we need them, right?
Yeah, definitely.
We need them to drive in the business. We need our salespeople driving the business, but we have to back it up, right? Like if you're gonna go out there and get X amount of volume, you have to have like you said, the killer behind the scenes who delivers and know what they're doing. So I don't need that answers your B2B question.
Yeah, no, I think perception versus reality is what you guys are talking about. They're perceived to know what they're doing and perceived to have everything under control. And the moment that anybody with any slight experience or any experience really is able to question them, you're able to see right through them. And I think that's the difference, with us. I mean, I've personally been in the business 15 years now. I would say within a couple minutes of a conversation, I could see if you are who you say you are and if you can deliver on the things that you need to. To touch on the point that you brought up earlier, I think it is super important when you're dealing with, people that have been in the business for a while, they kind of set in their ways. I think the ego side of it is super important because I've noticed, like the longer I've been in the business, that I'm not willing to fold or flex on different things that maybe I was willing to flex on when I was younger. and now I'm not. It's just for sake of time, for sake of processes that I already have in place now. I don't have the flexibility that I once had before. And if I'm looking for a lender, I'm looking for them to be able to mold with me. And I know that there's going to be a little give take on both sides, but I think that's just the importance in relationship. So if you value the relationship and you value the business, then you're able to make those mold yourself or make those changes to make sure that you guys can mend well. And if you don't, and if you're setting your ways and I'm setting my ways, then this is not going to be a good business transaction anyway.
Exactly.
Whenever it comes to B2B, right, to business, how can somebody tell whenever it seems like they're trying to build a relationship in order for both of them to make money, but one side is getting used up more versus being useful? They're getting used. They're not just being useful. For example, right now, we were talking to our realtors not too long ago about how they're probably going to get hit up by a bunch of these new construction, right? Either be your K-Hovs, your First America, whatever it may be. They're going to hit you up. Hey, we'd love to host you. Love for you to come out here, spend time with us. We'll buy you lunch or we'll let you do content, whatever it may be. And we were talking about how they're just using you in order to shine a light on their product at that point in time. But that relationship can be useful because if you have a client who does need to go there, then you know the person. But how do you know when you're being used versus becoming useful?
I feel like you're always being used.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I say this all the time, being in sales, you're either selling or you're being sold from the moment you wake up. You're making decisions and you're either convincing yourself to do something or you're convincing yourself not to do it. So you're always selling or you're always being sold. And I think you just got to make your decision on whether you want to be used by that person or not. Right? If that builder gives you an opportunity to host open houses when they weren't paying you commission a couple months ago, you got to make the decision if you're going to swallow your pride.
Yeah.
Go over there, host that open house, and make that decision. I will say that I was upset, during COVID. I feel like we got disrespected by a lot of business partners that we've had in this business for a long time.
Yeah.
They turned their back on us, wouldn't even, take our calls, wouldn't take our agents' offers. I mean, I gave some of these people 10 years of great sales life to them, and helped them build their business for them to disrespect us in certain, aspects and not just blatant disrespect. I mean, they would take my calls or apologize or whatever, but the fact that I didn't have no pull and they dug their heels in the ground and said, this is what I'm doing and I don't care. And now you're reaching back out to me. Now you're asking me for help on your sales because your community's dying and you have high inventory and you don't know what's going on. Then yeah, I'm gonna dish a little back because I can, because we've worked hard to get here. Now that you need me, not that I'm gonna treat you the same way. I'm just gonna be selective on who I decide to do business with moving forward. So now I see how they are.
So you forgive, but you never forget.
There you go.
And I think like we know guys, like you said, when you hear somebody talk, even the way they walk, you can take they're full of shit,
Yeah.
they is gonna be used. I mean, if all of us know what we're doing here, it only takes a couple of questions for you to, I'm not gonna waste my time with this.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Whether it's a client or B2B,
Yeah.
we know by now, so don't let yourself get used, Melissa.
I would tell you this, because during COVID and during all that, a lot of people made a lot of money, and Jovani's talking about your business. You're after the revenue, not the business, not the relationship, not the customer service, right? And there was a lot of real estate agents that were just boom, 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 just closing, right? That has stopped. Okay, they're no longer getting new people. So what are they doing now? If they're the smart ones, right? They're trying new methods, right? Or they're trying to go back through there and retargeting clients and stuff like that. But there are some realtors that were making a lot of money that had just stopped. They don't know what to do. They've exited the business. They're quote unquote, doing insurance now, doing I'm a commercial realtor now. Yeah, right. I mean, that's a pride. They have too much pride to admit that the way they were doing business was not the way you do business. And I just think that right now is a great time for the people that were putting their all into it, right, and doing the customer service like we teach here, right. I think those are the ones that are going to shine right now, or they're shining, not gonna shine. They're shining. My realtors are shining right now because they don't put that, they put their clients before the commissions. And I always say the commissions are going to come. You don't want to sell one house to one person. you want to sell a house to that person, to his family. You want to sell his house again whenever he's ready to upgrade. You want to, you want to grow with this person, and that's something that we have learned in this business, and something that we teach, and that's the way you need to do it. I mean, this whole thing about you putting yourself on Instagram like the almighty realtor that that the grand savior, right? It's not working anymore. People are tired of it.
I'm only gonna look handsome for so long, you know.
That's true. That's true.
That's it. Can't be on there too long. But no, and I think it's important. That's the subject, of today is just kind of building that longevity, and we'll say you asked me a question or earlier you were asking me how long I'd been in this business, that I've been in the business for 15 years, and I made a comment that I'm non-producing. What I mean by non-producing is that I'm no longer looking for new business. I have an established book of business, and thankfully, I have a little too much for me to handle on my own. And I do have a company here that I'm able to help my agents with, those leads. Two sides to that, right? There's a certain level of customer service that comes with dealing with me. If my agents don't step up to the plate, my customers let me know immediately. They let me know that they're not getting that same level of service immediately. And I'm able to either take that lead or push them somewhere else. They don't give up on me. They do give me opportunities. And that's a beautiful thing, being in this business for so long, creating that that trust, that authenticity, that accountability, everything. They know me, they trust me, they like me, they know what I'm doing. They're pulling for me. They know that they're not as accessible to me as I once was, but they're willing to support the company and support us. And that's really important. So beyond business to business, the referral game is the most important thing of my business. I mean, there was always that cheesy cliche that says, the greatest gift you can give me is a referral or something, all right? Don't give me money, give me a referral.
Yeah, referral. Yeah.
Whatever it was. And I never had to ask for referrals. Never asked. They're willing to come back to me. And I felt like that was important for our business.
But to add to the business to business, and you got to remember, I started in doing mortgages, right, and then I got into the real estate side, and now I'm a loan officer again, right, and I'll tell you, wholeheartedly, that the laziest person in the industry is the loan officer. I mean, the realtors literally feed the loan officer, And so that's what I think that the loan officer should be
defend yourself,
trying
Daniel.
to get
Defend yourself,
the
Daniel.
business
Come on.
from the realtor, because they just sit there and wait for deals,
Let it out, Daniel.
I'm waiting for those leads. I'm waiting for those leads, man. Just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Feed me, Daddy. Feed me.
He said, "I'm not gonna say nothing."
Yeah. He said, "You got leads? Bring them. Let's see." Nah, I heard a young loan officer, very new, very green in this business, and he said that he's going to make a lot of money because it's really easy to get agents to just send them deals. And then he was breaking down that an average agent sells, 14 homes a year, and that he wants to get, 10 agents, and he's looking, to close 140. And I was like, where are you getting these numbers from? Agents aren't closing, 14 deals a year. They're not closing a closing a month. He was like, well, I figure you close like a closer. I was like, they don't, and then you start looking through the numbers, and he's so far off base where he was looking to be, and kind of the reality of the business, which really comes down to it, that I was like, why would a realtor like myself, or an agent that has experience of 14, clients a year that he's helping, why would he select you to give you his business? What value you're providing? And he didn't have those answers, young guy just starting, but that goes back to, the training at the mortgage brokerage that he's at, and how they're doing that. So I guess I'll take that time to ask you, Daniel, how do you do that training, or do you have other agents, or is it just you or loan officers, or how's the business on that side?
Well, it was small operations, probably about 12 people in my team, but everybody's got a role. I was telling Nathan earlier that I have a team that handles all of my residential, FHA, conventional, USDA, VA product, and that's all they do every day. They know how to order Cavers. Cavers is an FHA system. They know how to order GUS. GUS is the appraisal system for rural properties for USDA. That's what they do every day, right? And then I got a team that handles my international clients, or clients from mainly Mexico, Central and South America, and that's all they do. Nice. Saben leer cartas constitutivas, declaraciones del SAT. I got another team that handles my commercial lending, whether it's a church, build a cash out on a hotel, build a gas station. And I got another team that handles the industrial lending, cranes, oil wells, helicopters, airplanes. So doing this for so long, you cannot have one person know everything.
Sure.
You got to specialize in the one thing, you know, and be good at it, you know. And this person, that's what they do every day, you know. And again, I got an amazing sales team, Elisa and Cristina. And like you were saying, Nathan, they go out there. It happens. I hire them because they're good looking, right? Let's be honest. It's sales, man. You know, beauty sales. So they go out there bringing the business, but beauty takes you only so long, right? Yeah. Now you got the business. Where can you deliver? Yeah. That's when my team comes in, you know? And so yeah, I think you got to be diverse now. And I've been thankful enough that I'm busy year round. Yeah. When the purchase market goes down, the commercial market is busy. When the economy is bad, people want to cash out. Yeah. So, you know, constantly that allows us to, and then we capitalize the sale. Hey, Daniel, can I cash out? Well, your property is worth $560,000. You only owe $100,000. Oh, I only need $100,000 to pay off, you know, and $50,000. Well, how about we use this $150,000 plus another $100,000 to buy 2 properties, right? And so you capitalize that. Oh, well, this is going to be my payment. Well, hold on. On those 2 properties that you're buying, you rent them is going to sustain the entire debt.
There you go.
You know, so you find creative ways to make things happen, and then you give the jewel to the agent. They're like, hey, bro, I didn't think about that. Yeah. I say, you're welcome, sir.
There you go. He said, I'm not lazy.
I'm not lazy.
He said, I used my brain for that.
That's it, man.
And then for those of you guys, right, going back to the relationship building who might be a little cynical about it, how I've always been whenever it comes to B2B, I have one of my newer agents actually showed me something. This person's able to build relationships like probably the only other person who can beat them is probably Vick. Is the only other person I've seen him build relationships like this. And she built and nurtured this relationship with a builder out here. And the fruits of that relationship have been awesome. I've completely given it to her. I was like, this is awesome. I would never even think something like this would be possible. Only the person who told me about those type of outcomes was Vick. But if you actually put in the right time to nurture a relationship with the right person, it can be super beneficial to both parties, to where both parties are being useful to each other.
Nate, we just had this conversation a couple of days ago. Would you say what's a good deal, Nate?
The good deal, because the good deal is whenever both people walk away from that relationship feeling good about it. That's the good deal. It doesn't matter because it's a what's that word you love to use, dude? It's your narrative or your
relaciones. Relaciones, no comisiones.
Yeah, right.
No, not that. We care about commissions.
Yeah. we care about commissions, and we care about commissions. Yeah.
We haven't hit you, but this far in the podcast, I'll let you know that it's USA English only here.
He writes better in Spanish, man.
Red, white, and blue, baby.
For this, man. Like he said, was both.
Yeah. No. So you know, this is a interesting topic, right? And you know, because sales is something that I've studied. I don't want to say that I've mastered sales, right? Because I'm still a student of sales. I still learn every day, especially with new generations coming up behind me, right? I want to learn. But the thing is that a good deal is in the, I guess, in the eye of the beholder, right? You know, some people worry about, ironically, taxes. If their taxes are too high in their home. Some people worry about monthly payments. Some people worry about paying interest, you know, which is strange to me. So it's just you got to figure out what is a good deal for that person, and you have to sell him that deal. You have to sell him that, and when you walk away from that close, you know, you're happy because you have your commission, and they're happy because they got what they want, and they got explained the way they want, you know. And I always
but wait, sometimes what they want is not what's best for them.
Of course not. Yeah.
So that's where we come in.
You have to give those options.
We let them know, say, "Wait, I know this is what you want, but kids, they don't know any better, guys. They don't know any better. This is what you want, but this is what I think you should do," and let them.
But I think what I'm speaking more to is, you know, when you have like some new agents, right? They think that sales or like good sales or good customer service is letting, you know, pretty essentially walking these people and telling them every single little thing on the process, right? And sometimes you just got to concentrate on what the person is most interested in or what is his concerns, right? You know, sometimes people are just worried about payment. If they're just worried about payment, they're trying to be on a certain, range, then yes, you try to get them a good interest rate. But what does it matter? Why are we fighting or trying to buy points, on interest rates? If they're an interest, hey, you could buy points and you could bring that back down. That was the problem for the person before. This person here doesn't care about interest rates. He cares about his payments.
Cares about his down payment amount.
Yeah,
or whatever
down payment amount. He cares about, et cetera. And that's how you master this sell. And it's not even omission. It's not being sneaky or anything. You're essentially just giving that person a great customer service, giving them.
Nah, bro, you're doing it like 50 Cent, bro. You're running game on them.
I'm running game. Yeah.
No, I what I was talking about that day when we were having our conversation was a purchase happens when value exceeds the price, right? When the customer is more likely to buy when their perception of the benefits, right, the value, kind of outweighs that cost. And it's what I train my agents on constantly. I'm constantly training them on discovery. Find out why they want to buy. Find out why they want to move. Get to know your client. Spend some time. What are their end game? What are they looking to do? How can you help them get there? Right? Because nothing else matters once they get there. Today, I'm gonna speak this one into existence. We have a lead. We have a lead in our system, and I'm working with my assistant to close this deal. And he said, "Hey, the customer's being unresponsive." He starts saying they're gonna have a baby. These guys are grandparents, right? So their son's gonna have a baby, and now they no longer want to sell the home. So I immediately go into my bag of tricks and I ask him, I was like, well, do they have a pool? Do they have a big yard? How does it look? And he was like, I don't know. Why does all that matter? I'm already framing the way I want this conversation to go when I do the follow-up. So when we did our follow-up call, we're talking to the homeowner and I'm telling them, oh man, congratulations. I heard you're about to be a grandfather. Yes. Hey, what are you hoping for? Boy or girl, here between friends. I'm not family. I don't care. You can tell me. He's like, no, I just want a healthy baby. I'm excited. I said, all right, great. Cool. We go through that, and I said, man, you know what my favorite memory was with my grandparents? I said, going over to their house, enjoying their pool, and being able to jump in the swing set. And he's like, man, that would be cool. I said, man, if my grandparents had the house, everybody went over there. I sold them this whole story that I didn't experience. But it got them thinking, and they were like, bro, and I said, we got this lead because we targeted a neighborhood that had apartments being built behind the community. I'm also having that issue in my community. So we letter wrote these people to ask them if, hey, do you know there's a construction, you might want to move. So now I've already planted the story of like going over to the family member's house, enjoying a pool, enjoying the backyard. Now they're going to have apartments overlooking that yard. So I'm setting up this client to be able to help, the close. The guy wanted to move. He didn't want apartments. Now he has a grandkid. Now I'm just reminding him that now you're going to have now you're going to have apartments. You don't want to put a pool back there. You're not going to be able to enjoy it. I'm already creating my narrative and convincing him, helping him convince to sell. And that's what we did. Like I'm putting in an idea that the labor pains or the pains that he's going to have in the future. He's like, man, I should have sold. Man, I should have bought. I'm helping to make those decisions now. My customers that live in downtown, I'm going to go vertical. I'm going to go 3 stories up. But I see their wife pregnant. I see their dog.
Exactly what you were saying, Nathan. I mean, they wanted one thing, and you show your arsenal. This is what things are going, right? Yeah. So one thing, not necessarily they're happy when they walk away with what they want, is exactly what you said. What is the best option for you right now based on what you want to do?
Yeah,
100%.
And that's the difference what we produce here versus other brokerage, right? We make real estate professionals. We don't want people out there just doing all this crazy stuff, just finding deals here and there. And it's essentially, I mean, I don't know if you ever played pool, right? But I remember when I would play pool, I would aim for a certain, for one of the balls that I had, right, the solids, right, and I would hit it, and then I would drop a solid, but not the one that I was aiming for. And I remember, my uncle would be like, "Oh no, you didn't call it." And I'm like, what do you mean I didn't call it? I hit, I won. I was confused. And he says, no, you dropped one that was one of your solids, but that's not the way we're playing here. We're calling the shots, and you didn't call the right one, so you're not skilled. Mm-hmm. I never understood that. I just thought I won. Like I got it in. You're cheating. And so now that's how this industry is. That's the way these realtors are. They're like, I closed. It doesn't matter how I closed. I closed. I found 5 people that wanted to buy, and I made a lot of money.
If your uncle didn't lay down the rules before you made that, he cheated. No.
So this is the thing is that he did lay those rules down, and I didn't understand. And not even I'll even go further than that. I did understand. But I just couldn't understand why he didn't let me slide.
He said, but I was running game on him.
Yeah, I was running game on him. Yeah. So and it goes back to, like, I have a realtor, right, that she's I teach all my realtors here to aim for 4% if you're a buyer's agent, right? And he, one of my realtors got 4%, and they're at the closing table, and the realtor's like, man, you're being greedy, and she felt that she felt some sort of way about it, even to the point of calling me, hey, she said I'm greedy, and why would I do this, and whatever, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I said, what? I mean, let's look at this deal, right? Okay, now if you went in there and what's being greedy, or what's not helping your client? You went in there, you got $10,000 for closing costs, right, from this builder. You got all the appliances, right? You put them with a good lender. You made them use your own lender, right? So this guy got a great deal. You deserve your 4%. You know what I'm saying? And what's not doing your job? Getting them all the money, getting them a big discount, and making your 4%, or just showing up, right? And say, oh, I'll do it for 2%. I'll open the door and just sign a contract and not negotiate for you for 2%. I mean, you got to figure out where is the deal and where is it being lost. I mean, it's just,
that's a different conversation. That's the hustle culture. They're just doing it for the dollar. They're doing it for that moment in that time. They don't respect the craft. They don't respect themselves. And that's not what we're after here.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not gonna give those people any more time of mine.
A lot of times they don't understand the value that they're bringing to the deal. I don't know, Vic, if you had time to read that message that I sent in my team group chat earlier today with the Apple video. It's about the value story, right? I asked my team a question of, if you couldn't describe your services and you couldn't describe the product that you're selling, how could you present value to the person that you're trying to help? And it's all about, well, at the end of the day, it's talking about them and what they need and what are their goals or aspirations that revolve around your product or your services. For example, in that video, so you guys can look it up, it's from 2013, it's from Apple, and it's called Misunderstood. And they don't sell the iPhone in the video at all. All they're doing is they're showing the family throughout the vacation of Christmas. Everybody else is enjoying their time together, the grandparents, the grandkids, the cousins, everybody, besides this one person. He's a teenager. He's just on his phone. At least that's what it looks like throughout the whole time, right? Then whenever it comes time to open up the gifts, the kid goes up to the TV, he turns it on, and he uploads the video that he had on his phone. And what he was doing the whole time was capturing everybody in the moment, enjoying the whole family. And everybody in the family starts crying. They start enjoying the video. And what Apple did was sell what the phone could do for the family atmosphere and not selling the phone. Could they highlight that it has a new camera on it? Yes. Could they highlight that it could go directly to the TV? Yes. Just on a product commercial? But would it work just as well as showing this whole family and what they got out of it? No. So if you couldn't describe to your clients what you do for them and what the product that you're selling, how could you sell to them? How could you provide value? And it's called the value story. Perfect example what Vic did. That's why I thought it was pretty cool, because it's like, that's what I sent this morning to my group, was the value story. You talk about everything besides the house, right?
Yeah.
You talk about them being in whatever they're adjusting to.
Yeah,
That's beautiful, Jovani.
it's a beautiful.
It is. It's called.
It invokes
Is that a true
emotion.
story?
It's called Misunderstood 2013 Apple.
I will turn my phone and just show you. Jovani did send that today, and they did have a conversation
I
about
thought
that.
he was gonna say, hey, everybody had an Apple, and then that one jerk had the freaking
The Android.
messed up the whole group today.
That would be a commercial for today.
That would be a good commercial.
Hey, no,
That is funny.
but
I think they have done a commercial like that, to be honest. Yeah.
no, but to echo what Jovani was saying, like that is a fact. That is a fact. Like we no longer talking about B2B here. We're talking strictly customer service,
Yeah.
right? So the combination of both, the combination of what they want and then make them realize what they need, and only an experience, whether you're a real estate agent or whatever business it is, right? It's like, hey, a mechanic, let's say, I don't know, like, hey, I need brake pads. Oh, wait a minute, but have you seen the rotors? They need to be replaced. That's what it's all about, right? It's not that you upselling it. It's a fact. Like, and they walked out.
That sounded like upselling. That
Yeah,
happened.
no,
that just happened to me and my daughter.
Yeah. Nate just got upsold.
Yeah, they were trying to.
I want to hear that story.
They were trying to get my. They were trying to. They were trying to pay my
$800 when she went, like $250 when they went.
Yeah, exactly.
They said, sir, this is going to need to be
Daniel
replaced
said,
again.
and on that note,
when I need to.
Daniel said, on that note, I own a mechanic shop on.
Good one, good one.
That dude was trying to scare me. He said that it was dangerous for my daughter to be on the road, and I'm like, what? I said, get out of here, bro.
That's wild. No, I
They
think
said we just survived 2 car crashes this year. What's another one?
I think in every business, this has been my feeling for a long time. I don't think you should be in business if you don't value customer service. I think it's no way for you to run your business if you don't value your end buyer. You have to value who you're doing business with. You have to know their wants, their needs, their motives, and you have to be able to provide that to them so you could be number one. If you straight up just don't care and you're just churning and burning, you're gonna burn out. There's only so many people that you're gonna talk to. Say you do, you just talk to a bunch of people for over 10 years, you're gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna get exhausted. You're not gonna build a pipeline. So customer service is important, longevity is important.
And that's what I always that's my saying there. You know, I always say I'm no martyr, right? I do it for the money. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't. But you know, if you can't be respected in your community, if you can't walk around, you know, and know that you've never wronged anybody in sales, then what is it worth making that money? You know, you're essentially selling your soul for that money.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that was another great episode here at HBR. I'm gonna go ahead and let our guests exit out. Let everybody know where they can find you, and let them know what you do.
Yes, thank you, Jovani. Daniel with Home Mortgage Houston. You can find us. Go ahead, Melissa. You want to share? Okay, sorry.
No, for you.
Oh, Daniel with Home Mortgage Houston. Oh, bro, there's a huge difference. Nobody told me I was supposed to get this close.
Run it again.
Yeah,
Run it again.
We got
Let's start
another
over.
45
Let's start
minutes. Yeah.
Home Mortgage Houston _ Home Mortgage _ Houston. Our social media, homemortgagehouston.com. I'll let Melissa kind of introduce herself here as well.
Hi, my name is Melissa, and I work with Daniel at Home Mortgage Houston. And you can find me on Instagram at melirosa2018, and as well on our Instagram page. And well, I just want to thank Nate and Vic for the invitation. We're very grateful to be able to be here today.
Leave us with a good
fun.
tip today.
That's
I'm
fun.
gonna put some pressure on you. Say something nice.
Something nice.
Say something.
You're
Say
making
something
it hard on me. Hold on.
deep and profound. Deep and profound.
No, we love the experience, and we're very grateful for this.
Yes.
There you go. Sure. Cool.
Thank you.
My name is Victorino Cortez. I am the president here of Lionsgate Realty. We are hiring, we are recruiting, we're looking to grow. I'm excited to have you guys on board. And if you like what we're saying here, you'd love my team meetings.
And my name is Nathan Valderas. You can find me on all my social media outlets at Better Call Nate. And if you want a loan officer that knows the name of his Instagram name, you can find me at Lord of Loans.
He got you.
All right. And, you know, I can help you out there. Blueprint.
Wow, you're going to go there? Get mad at this guy, man. He's right, you know?
And I am Jovani. I am the host here at HBR, also a manager here at Lionsgate Realty. You can find me as Jovani _ Frank on Instagram. Till next time.